Assalamualaikum. My name is Tahir Naim. We are studying Management Information System. So far we have covered 11 lecture and today is our 12th lecture. And today our topic is marketing and decision making. This is the outline of our today lecture. First of all, we will discuss marketing. Then we will discuss accounting and financial information systems. Then we will discuss human resource information systems. Then we will discuss IT department. Then we will discuss the evolution of the IT department. Then we will discuss the decision making. Then we will discuss types of problem. Then we will discuss the types of decision. Then we will discuss decision making process. First of all, what is marketing? No information system can exist in an organization without being linked with other functional information system. This linkage is important for for the smooth functionality of information system, since it allows easy transformation and using information. So all the information systems are linked together for their smooth operations and their transformation for any other purposes. So we will discuss first of all what is marketing. Marketing is basically production subsystem needs to be linked with the marketing system so that produce right amount of product. So here the system different, let's suppose the production system and marketing system must be interlinked so that right amount of product is produced. Human resource system. Most of human resources involved in manufacturing process. Since factory premises has to be working continuously, availability of relevant labor is crucial. So in a factory or any manufacturing process, a lot of people is involved in making of the product. So it must be good environment, provide good environment for the smooth operation of the factory. Accounts and finance. Account should have control over various recording points in the entire process from the procurement to finish goods storeroom. This would help both in recording transactions for financial statement and improving and arranging for cash payment. So here the account system must have all knowledge of all the processes, all the procurement of the raw materials and everything, and the dispatch of finished product, so that they could keep count they should have a record of everything, and they should helps in regarding the transaction and financial and financing and improvement and accounting information system, or we can call it AIS, is linked to all information system in an organization. As we have previously discussed, that accounting information system must have knowledge of everything in an organization. This is important because the data required for the proper bookkeeping and generation of transaction report is extracted from all over the organization. So whenever we want to keep a book of records, or we generate our transactional reports, we should have the accounting information system must have knowledge of every activities taking place. For instance, sales information can be sought only from marketing information system, and stock information is available in manufacturing information system. So we can extract sales information from marketing information system, and we can take stock information system from manufacturing information system. So I am giving you an example. Data collection at a particular terminal located at the factory area. So data collection is done in a particular terminal in the factory area. Raw material are received from the supplier, and receipt data is entered into a terminal. Quality control inspection is conducted and results are recorded at the terminal. Acceptance end-to-end release from the raw material room is logged into the terminal. Terminal are used by the production employees to record start and completion of each step of production. Terminal records the entry into the finished goods storeroom. Shipping to the customer is recorded at the terminal. So all these processes is recorded in the separate terminals, then which are interlinked with accounting and financial information system. Accounting and financial information system cater for the need of accounts and finance departments. These are responsible for managing financial assets in order to maximize the return, like cash, stocks, bonds, other investments, and financial liabilities, capitalization of firms through acquisition of new financial assets. So financial assets are managed and organized by accounting and financial information, so that we can gain the maximum return, like how much cash we have, where we should invest our cash so that our cash is maximized, and stocks, in which stock we have invested in, which stocks have a lot of potential to gain further values so that our return is maximized. Bonds, which bonds have a highest yield so that our return is maximized. Other investment, what other investment we have made and what are the future of these investment. Financial liabilities, that how much money we owe to the other supplier or any other organization, and what are the maturity date of these liabilities so that we can return them in timely manner. Capitalization of firm through acquisition of new financial asset, or what we have acquired so that and what are the future of the our assets. It also produces the periodic and annual financial statement. Account and financial information system helps in producing the time-specific statements regarding our financial status. Our annual financial statements, where we can show how organization is doing in terms of finance. Importance of accounting and financial information systems. Every transaction that an organization undertake his financial impact to be recorded and reported to the account and finance department, so that every transaction or wherever we spend money must be recorded by the account and finance department, so that we can analyze its effects. Here is the share of interest for every department in the reports and information produced by this system. So here we can keep track of the expenses every department incur, and this information can be generated upon inquiry. Financial information system, like other information system, should cater for the information requirement at each level. So every level, the information system must be account and financial information system must be able to answer the question required or needed at every level, like strategic level. Investment goal. First of all, we must be able to answer this question, that what is our investment goal, by seeing the accounting and financial information system. The long range forecast for firm financial performance. We should be able to forecast the financial performance of organization by inquiring from the information from accounting and financial information system. Acquisition of financial sources and goals. that do we need any more money, or we will be able to achieve with the cash we have on hand. Knowledge level. As we know, the strategic level is a long-term view of an organization, while knowledge level is the analytical tool to design the right mix for investment. If you must be able to mix the investment of various portfolio updates. Accounting and financial information system helps us to keep us updates about the latest acquisition or latest situation of our organization. Market information analysis. You must be able to analyze the market by just looking at the accounting and financial information system of our organization. Management level. Control over firm financial resources. We must have control of all the financial transactions taking place in the organization, and we must be able to increase or decrease our financial health of the our organization. Investment management. We must be able to manage our investment so that our organization can achieve maximum return. Budget management. We must be able to manage our budget. Budget means that how much expenses we have, how much profit we have, how much revenue we have. So it must be, if we want to cut costs, then we must be able to do it. Tax management, and we must be able to manage our taxes so that we are compliance with the government taxation, because if lapses are found, then we can face a lot of huge amount of fines. Profitability and performance evolution. We must be able to ensure that we are profitable, and what is the performance of the organization in the current quarter or current year or current period, and what are the history of our performance, or what are the projections for our performance. Operational level, which means day-to-day operation. Cash flow statement through various transactions. We must be able to update. We must be able to keep ourselves updated from various transactions taking place within an organization. In inventory and debtor management, we must be able to manage our inventory, how much raw material, how much product we have, and how much we owe to different organization or people. Credit manager, and what are the amount of money we have with other people. So we should be able to manage it. If we have too much money is too much lying with other people, we must be able to reduce it so that our cash flow is improved on. Human resource information system. It is an information system that combines many human resource functions, including benefit administration, payroll, recruiting and training, and performance analysis and review into one package. It helps in building database of employee. Human resource information system keep tracks of all our personnel, including their benefit and their salaries, and their training, and how much we are recruiting, and what performance they are showing. And we must be able to review if we can lay off people, or we must hire new people. So human resource information system must have the database of all the employees currently working in our organization. Keeping track for new position or vacancies. So the human resource information system must be able to track how much new position is available in the organization or vacancies available in the organization. keeping master records for each employee. We must a human resource information system must have the facility for keeping the record of each and every employee, and history and all the related material must be stored in his record, so that it is one click away from the management to decide about his promotion, demotion, or firing, or bonuses. Performance evaluation and training assessment. So human resource information system must be able to identify which training we have important to our workers, and what difference does it produce in their performance. IT department. Information by itself is proven to be most critical resource for organization. Such is the criticality that other resource of organization cannot be managed without it. This has led to the evolution of information system to efficiently manage the information resources of the organization. This system is usually employed by the information services department, which is major functional area of the organization. Evolution of IT department. IT department function is evolving based on the user of the user department. So IT department function is constantly evolving with the changing environment. First of all, we will look at the traditional computing. Initially, user was not directly linked with the using the computing facility, and IT workforce was involved in assisting user to achieve his computer related goals. So computer personnel was available for different tasks, and the user can ask them to perform the relevant task. So here I am giving you a diagram. Here user can ask for the services of database administrator to retrieve different information from database, and database administrator was there to help the user, while the system analyst was able to was able to design a system, while programmer is there to program to code this system conceptualized by system analyst, and operator, and it is stored in the computer, while operator was there to to retrieve the information and pass it on to user for their smooth functionality, while network specialist was there for the smooth operation of all the relevant network in the organization. End user computing. As the computer uses become more literate, much of the work was done by user themselves, and IT department took over as support function. So nowadays user is able to perform most of the function themselves, and IT department is only there to support the system. Here the example that information specialists or information specialists collectively support the user in using the computing facility. So information system specialist is there to support the user, while user himself do all the tasks on the computer himself. So here if we need support, he can call them, while most of the time he is able to independently work on the computer. Decision making. There are some of the critical decisions that top manager faces every day. How to decide whether to sell or spin off a business. Should the supplier relationship be renegotiated? What can be done to improve decision making competition throughout your organization? So decision making is a very critical part in any organization. To capture maximum value, Exacto not only must make the right decision but also make must negotiate skillfully. Since most of the decision involve other parties, it is essential for manager to understand their individual role as it reaches to other decision maker, as well as how to use this knowledge to create the strongest possible negotiating position. Keeping in mind the importance of decision making for managers, information systems are also designed in such a way to help them out control operation and perform their managerial responsibilities more effectively. Decision making is the cognitive process of selecting the course of action from among multiple alternatives. So decision making process in decision making process, we have multiple options available in front of us, and we have to intelligently select one solution from many. Cognitive process is the mental process of knowing, including aspects such as awareness, perception, reasoning, and judgment. Every decision-making process produces a final choice. It can be action or an opinion. So, at the end result of decision-making process results leads to any action or any opinion. It begins when we need to do something but we do not know what. A decision making is a reasoning process which can be rational or irrational and can be based on explicit assumption or tacit assumption. Types of problems. Nature of problem determines the approach decision making to be followed to solve it. There are three broad categories of problems. Structure problem. Well structured problems are constrained problems with convergent solution that engage the application of a limited number of rules and principles within well-defined parameters. So in structure problem we have a well-defined parameter in which we can solve the problem, while we have rules and principle in which we can take decision. Unstructured problem possessing multiple solutions. Solution paths fewer parameters which are less manipulable and contain uncertainty about which concept, rules and principles are necessary for the solution or how they organize and which solution is best. So here the parameters are few if any available or none, and there are no clarity if the decision is going to be good or bad. Semi-structured. A gray area lies between the structured and unstructured range. Here a part of decision can be specified, allowing for certain factor out of control. Like a new found a farm organization may be taken as unstructured organization due to lack of defined organizational structure, operating procedure. The question that problem is structured or unstructured is not dependent on the organization being structured or unstructured. Even a highly organizational structure can face novel and unprecedented problems. So here I am giving you example. Let's suppose first of all we will discuss unstructured. In unstructured problem, Mr. A thinks that he has to wake up at any time in the morning. So here you specified morning and A specified morning and he is not specified the time. So it can be any time in the morning. Structure. Mr. A is a soldier and has to wake at 6 in the morning when army bugle is played blown. This procedure will be followed no matter what. Here 6 am is specified, so there is no room for further negotiation. Semi-structure. Waking up is subject to clock alarm, but it can be turned off as waking up that time is also subject to some sort of individual judgment. So here we have set alarm clock, but we can turn it off and later on decide that we can sleep some more. So here I am giving you an example. Bank has a policy that two person Mr. A and B would open bank 30 minutes before the bank timing, so that bank should be open for public dealing at 9 a.m. No other situation has been forecast in this policy. Here Mr. A and B are specified, and it's their responsibility to open the bank 30 minutes before official timing or at 8:30 because the bank must be functional or open for business at 9 a.m. sharp. Structure: staff shall be in the bank by 8 a.m. to ensure opening for bank dealing at 9. This procedure will be followed no matter what. Here we have defined that everyone must be present in the bank at a.m. and must finish their preparation until 9 o'clock, so that we let the customer in. Semi-structure: branch manager is informed a day earlier that A will be unable to make it next day. Rest is left at the discretion of the branch manager judgment to decide who else is to be made responsible to open the branch in the morning. Here in semi-structure, Mr. A is unavailable in that day, and branch manager has to decide who will be responsible to open the bank. Unstructured: employees start reaching before 9 a.m. but branch is not open. The decision taken by the employees there and then would be totally unstructured due to novelty of the situation arose. So here we have not specified who will open the bank or what type of but we have only specified that 9 p.m. bank will open. So when whoever arrives if any number of the people arrive before 9, they will start the work so that they can be open for business at 9 a.m. Types of decision: all the problem requires decision making. However, the nature of problem determines how it should be approached. The decision making process: there are three types of decision: structured, non-structured, and semi-structured. Structured decision: when the problem is recurring and repetitive, the common factors can be identified in order to define a particular course of action, due to which defined set of procedure can be defined for their solution. Hence, so here problem occurs repetitively. Procedure for obtaining the best solution are standardized. Objectives are clearly defined. Clearly specified inputs and outputs are defined. Unstructured decision: when the problem are non-routine, critical, and novel in nature, they require individual judgment, evaluation, and insight, varying on case-to-case basis. There is no well understood or agreed upon procedure for handling these problems. For such situation, predefined policy cannot be devised. Hence, once problem has been figured out, a policy may be devised to handle the problem in future. This can make the problem look like a structured one, giving regard to role of individual judgment. So here in unstructured decision, there is no fixed rules, and every person is autonomous in deciding every individual problem differently. This term is semi-structured decision. The term is used to refer to gray area decision, which can lie between two extremes. Some but not all structure phases are often solved using standardized solution, procedure, and human judgment. Decision making process: first of all, decision making process involves intelligence, searching for the condition in the environment that call for decision. We must search for the condition and then design, invest, develop, and analyze possible course of action. So here we must be able to create, develop, and analyze the possible outcome. Choices: selecting a course of action from these available. So here different courses of action, we have to choose one from the many available. Implementation: so the problem of the decision which we have made must be implemented in the standard way. Monitoring, checking the consequences of the decision made after implementation. So after implementing our decision, we must be able to monitor the effect of our decision. Phases of decision making. Here I am giving example. Any deviation from norm should be reported is an exception for manager's attention. Is it in the case with debtor aging analysis? Debtor aging analysis is satisfaction of trade receivable in accordance of period of time since they have been due. Intelligence, identifying the problem occurring in an organization. Management information system is the primary source of manager to be aware of red alert. Design, once the debtor has been analyzed on the basis of pattern of collection, options can be generated to improve collection rate. For example, offering early payment discount. We can offer them discounts if they able to pay early. Devising various collection strategies for, so we must be able to devise different strategies. Various classes of customer, we should be able to classify customer based on collection period, that how much collection, how much time period they have achieved for their collection, discount rates, and how much discount rates are offered to them. Strengthening sales department for collecting revenue through negotiation and settlement. So here we must be able to negotiate and settle so that our revenue can be increased. Choices. Now a selection is to be made which single strategy or combination of strategies should be implemented. Hence, a DSS system can be used to simulate a consequences of alternatives generated. The diversity and complexity of alternatives generated would determine how extensive the DSS system should be. Implementation. Now the stage comes of communicating the policy approved to the interested and regulated person. For example, conducting training session of sales department or issuing in offices official memorandum, communicating and convincing the customer of the new credit terms so to avoid confusion. Once again, management information system will be used to record and report result efforts of the policy. Monitoring, once the decision has been implemented, then the effect and response should be monitored. The quality of decision can be judged only once after they have been implemented. Monitoring helps in evaluating the quality of decisions that have been made. This may include the following: quantifying the speed in the process of recovery, discounts cost being borne by the organization, customer response in accepting the entire policy. Once again, MIS will be used to record and report the results effect of the policy. So here I'm giving you an example that intelligence is the intelligence, and its a typical example include debtors aging report, so that we must be able to analyze if there is any red flags. We must be become aware. Design, devise a discount or training policy. So whenever we detect a problem, we must be able to design something like discount or training for the personal choices. So at the end, we must have select a discount training policy so that revenue can be generated. Implementation, implement the discount training policy. Monitoring, after the implementation, evaluate recovery pattern, relevant cost involved. This is the site from where I have taken my references. Thank you. If you have any questions regarding today lecture, feel free to contact me on my email address. I will be more than happy to answer your question. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.